The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the beginning, the Maker formed the angels of the dawn, whose purpose was to carry the will of the Maker with creation. Humankind was our highest, finest, and ultimate creation.
We were commanded to love you as we love the Maker, but ordered to hide ourselves from you. When forced to choose between those two commandments, we chose love. The simple act of revealing ourselves to you was our undoing.
Our love of you led to revolution in the heavens. The merest caress of God's wrath was sufficient to rend the spheres asunder, leaving the world a bruised and battered husk of what was once paradise.
The first murder was man, and our noble warfare turned catastrophic. Thus began the time of atrocities. We ruled the world for countless ages, slaughtering the heavenly host and pulling down their prisons of stone and iron.
But in the end, it all came to naught. The race of Adam and Eve buckled from the weight of revelation and turned their backs to us. With the war lost, we expected destruction.
But the Almighty had a far more terrible fate in store. He condemned us to darkness eternal, an endless, empty existence devoid of purpose. In the end, our sacrifice was forgotten because history is always written by the victors.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Demon: The Road to Hell. I am, of course, your storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
I am Synthrazial, and I possessed Vivian Ash.
I am Arazeth, and I possessed Virginia Waugh.
I play Carsador, who possessed Clark Miller.
I am Nibas, who possessed Alice Elizabeth.
I am Trimdesiol, and I possessed Kathleen Stone.
I am Juliriel, and I possessed Michelle Mars Porter.
And for those that were here last week, you don't really need the summary, but everyone else. So last week, while this choir of fallen angels was investigating, well, the kidnapping, they discovered that under the library, there definitely seems to be some sort of nefarious plans going on under there. They found the stairwell in the basement of the library that was bricked up that would lead to the under part there. They met an unexpected ally that I think over half of this particular group do not consider really an ally at all. They don't like them. The first house always had pride issues. And they got a couple leads on some additional places to check. But where we're picking up to here is this choir decided they are going into that library's basement tonight at 10 p.m. after the library closes. So as we open up, we're going to open up prior to that as this group decides their plan of action for the night. And I'm going to turn this over to my fallen angels.
All right, I'll get us some permits, I think, so we don't exactly have to, dig ourselves in or trick these poor librarians.
Do you need assistance in getting permits?
No, I got a guy who he's a little shady, but he can get me what I need.
Fair enough.
Mm. Then we all go in together.
Yeah, I'd say so. We're the crew.
Too risky for anything else at this point.
Just need to be careful.
I'm going to ask every player here to please make a perception awareness roll.
All right.
Difficulty on this roll is, of course, going to be 6. And we shall see what happens.
Does the insightful work for...
Sure. I will let you have insightful. I asked Carsador to roll some dice, and he just poofs off camera.
Just
4
leaning over so I
or
could
3,
read the
2,
numbers.
3. It's not bad so far. 2. Okay, so we got 3 so far as the high ones.
7.
Wow, 7. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's my one guild roll for the night.
Yeah. I mean, at least you had one good roll, right?
3.
3, 7. As you're sitting here outside in the parking lot discussing, Kathleen, you can feel something twisting reality a bit. It's building. It's very subtle right now from under the library.
You all feel that?
When
I
she
guess-
points it out, do we notice?
The people who had 3 can notice.
Yeah, I feel it.
A little.
I
Faint.
don't
Can't
notice
pick it up.
anything.
There's something building under the library. It's growing. I that's the best I can do. This isn't my area of expertise, so
That's fair. That's not good.
nothing has been good in the last week. So
Agreed.
it's an understatement. I would say we probably need to get down there sooner than later, probably, if you know.
Are you suggesting we go now,
Uh,
or just
I'm not
later?
making any suggestion. I'm going to leave that up to our, the others to make that decision. But if we're going to get permits or whatever, we should probably move quicker on that instead of standing around here. So
Sure. I can give me a minute. I'll contact my boy.
Okay.
I am going to reach out with my perception to Nico.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull my list of stuff up here real quick so I have this handy.
My shady dealer.
Yeah. Nico. What's up, Centazio? I'm kind of doing some stuff right now, but what's up?
Hey, Nico. I kind of need a specific foraging job. I was wondering if you could get me some demolition permits for the library over at the university.
Damn. What kind of demolition you're looking to do? I mean, what's the overall, what's the scam? What's the con? What you got?
Specifically, it's for a film, and it's to knock down a wall towards the older section underneath the library. So,
I think I can do you one better.
oh yeah,
One of my
What you got?
customers actually works in the city planning office.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it won't be a valid one, but I can get him to fire one off. He's kind of in debt at the moment, and since he owes me so much, he knows better than to argue. If I tell him fire me off a permit, it'll look official.
That's all that matters. The librarian's not going to be able to tell the difference.
No, they'd have to file it up with the city hall and then go back to it. Most people don't even want to take the trouble to double check that.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Nico. If you could get him to run that down to the university as well, we'll meet him there.
Okay, I'll tell him look for you. It'll probably be about an hour and a half tops.
Perfect. Ah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
No problem. By the way, I got some new shit in. You're gonna have to try it. It's really high quality.
Oh, babe, you know it would be my pleasure.
I always keep you in mind when I get some good shit in.
That's so sweet of you. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.
Yep. Let me start making a call.
Thank you.
And
I'll
then
pull my awareness back.
Why do you flirt with your thralls? They're already providing something useful to you.
It's nice to see that humans are using my gift, and I like to cherish and push it, you know? It's really nice.
I don't know, but fair enough.
Sorry.
So are you all gonna just wait around for the hour and a half before the permit arrives, or anyone got anything else they need to do before going? Now, if you're gonna be claiming your film recording, Alice might need to get some equipment here to make it look like you're doing a film recording, which, given her body's career, that's not hard. That's a phone call for her.
Yeah, I'm also thinking it can be pretty minimal since we're going with like the Blair Witch vibes,
Exactly. Maybe
which
like
is
a
just the camcorder.
Like an 8mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camcorder, couple lapel mics.
exactly
Yeah.
easy.
Yep, a handheld light or two.
Yeah, no problem. We can do that.
And that's just a phone call. And we don't need to role play that one out because it's pretty easy. It's your damn production company.
Yep.
It's a phone call and a van pulls up about 30 minutes later.
Virginia actually grabs a first aid kit out of her trunk.
Okay.
Gotta have one of those on a work site.
Uh-huh. Very good.
Does Virginia put on her,
She puts on her nurse jacket.
that's what I was about to ask,
Mm-hmm.
because that is actually a requirement, union requirement,
Yep.
and normally a state requirement.
Yep, to have medical professionals on site.
Can we get a couple of Alice, can we get a couple of sledgehammers? Just so, you know, the librarians aren't wondering how the fuck we got through that wall.
Yeah, I can see what I can do. It's not typical for us, but I'm sure my
Ah,
assistant can pull
props
some
They're
Sparks.
strings.
props for the movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it takes about 30 minutes before one of your production company people drop off a van that has all the equipment in it. Now, they're used to you doing odd things like this. Just you do your own reconnaissance shoots all the time. About an hour after that, guy pulls up, and it's obvious he's strung out on something. He's got the kind of nervous jitters and the picks. He's picking at his skin a bit. I was told over here, I'm looking, you got to be Vivian, right?
Yes, that's me, darling.
Yeah, Nico sent me by with something for you. Hold on
Oh,
a sec.
thank you.
I got to hear some shit. No. He reaches in his back pocket. He pulls out, it's folded up like several times. He unfolds it. It's the permit thing you needed, right? You're going to
Oh,
tell Nico we
yes.
good, right?
Oh, absolutely. I will make sure that he gives you the fairest prices and that
Yeah.
that starts to be settled.
He said he'd hold off on what I owed him. He'd give me another week on the debt. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Excuse
Of
me,
course.
is your office closed now?
No,
When does it close?
it closes at 8.
How in the world does the city office close at 8?
That's what he says. That's the building closes. Now, it may be, the office may be closed earlier, but
Okay.
he assumes we're
usually
talking building.
City stuff closes at like 5.
5 or
Yeah,
6 for
5
the
or
city, but
6,
the building's
yeah.
open till 8.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Y'all didn't see me, right?
No.
We didn't see you. Not a whisper, not a word.
And he just kind of scurries off, still twitching a bit. Obviously, he's a bit of a heroin addict.
Okay, what time is it now, storyteller?
I don't know. 6 sound right for based on everything that's going on?
Yeah. All right, so even if that busybody does want to check the validity of these, she'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Exactly. Well, we've got our equipment, we've got our permit, shall we?
I don't see why not. As long as we're quiet, they shouldn't have an issue with us coming in early.
Yeah,
Or make any noise we do cause justifiable.
exactly. All right.
Would you like me to carry the camera?
No.
He can carry the props.
Oh, I totally call the boomstick.
The boomstick.
I'll just take whatever someone hands me.
So Clark ends up being handed 2 sledgehammers, one for
Alice's
each shoulder.
backpack.
And Alice's
Alice's-
backpack too? Okay.
Yeah.
And no, Clark carries them like hand right under the heads of the hammers directly in front of him. He's not doing the John Henry thing.
Okay. And you, Virginia obviously has her medical kit with her as you all filing in, carrying stuff. And when you walk in the library, the head librarian, that's quick. You're here a little early.
Oh, apologies. We did manage to get our paperwork completely through, so we were hoping maybe we could get to work as long as we're quiet.
And she looks, see, I told you they'd have it. That bitch didn't believe me. She, right, if you got your permit, y'all know the way. I'm kind of trying to get finished up because somebody just brought in a whole bunch of books and now I've got to go sort them all and get them all filed back. It's a pain in the ass.
Are any of them
Understood.
occult books by chance?
No, I don't know why they haven't come back in yet.
Oh well.
Who knows?
Thanks anyway.
Yeah. And as you go down, of course, once again, now for a number of you, this is the first time you've been in this basement. As you go down into the lower section, it's the archives of the library, and it's dimly lit. Thankfully, it's not wet all through there, at least not too wet. And there's boxes, and it's got that dusty old smell of books that have just been stored away too long. And you all, of course, the ones who've been down here, take you right over to the walled up door frame.
Go ahead and use the sledgehammers to knock it a few times so they hear that before I do my thing.
Garsador, you're maybe one of the stronger one of us in terms of like physical strength, so.
It's the first time you all have ever seen Carsador make Clark smile. And I drop one of the hammers and just start whacking it a few times.
And you hit the brick, and the bricks are shifting. Whoever did this obviously didn't do that good a job with when they set it up, because you hit it a few times and already the mortar's cracking, the bricks are shifting a bit. It's not a very good job at all.
I do it like 3 times and then I just set the hammers aside.
Okay.
And I am going to stand in front of it and cast Fist of Air.
Okay, so you're going to call on the lore of creation. You're going to roll stamina plus survival.
Mhm.
And your difficulty for this will, of course, be 6. We'll use the base difficulty. And you all know what she's did. She already told you what she was planning to do. And because of this, you can actually see as she starts to change the fabric of creation around her to pull air where there is no air. What starts is really just dead air, suddenly as a little gust, and then it picks up and you can hear it but not feel it as she pushes it into a focused point.
That's 5.
And it slams into this wall. And when it slams into the wall, the whole top half just tumbles in, leaving the bottom half there, but you can easily step over it. And what you see is a stairwell going down, now covered in brick. And it heads deeper under the building. Now, when this gets opened up, Kathleen, what you felt building earlier tonight is a little bit stronger now, and now all of you can feel it. There's a power growing of some kind. You're not quite sure what it is or how to describe it, but there is a power growing somewhere down there.
I can feel it now. That's not good. Shall we?
Virginia grabs the other sledgehammer. Let's go.
May I preemptively do something, storyteller?
Of course. What would you like to preemptively do?
I would like to make myself heavier so it's harder to knock me over.
You're going to try to use... Now, while you can manipulate gravity with it, they only last for a single turn, so you'd be rolling it constantly.
Okay, then I'll just wait for if someone charges me or anything.
Okay.
I didn't see the per turn part, sorry.
Yep.
I would like to use Lamp of Faith.
Okay.
Really,
That for you is going to be a nice and easy roll for your character. That is perception plus alertness.
perfect. And difficulty of 5 or 6.
6.
Perfect. 3 successes.
And you light it up, and you can see the people above you because it's a number of yards equal to your faith. So that's going to be 12 yards or 4 yards, 12 feet. You can see a little bit above you. You see you all, but no other faith is in this area at all.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out as best I can. My range isn't stellar, but
Are there any lights in this basement area?
Nope.
Okay.
But you brought some, like I said, little
Yep,
handhelds.
handhelds and flashlights and shit.
No, I don't think that works. Never mind. I was gonna say, Kathleen's really gonna quickly though. She's actually gonna change the color of her skin to a different color, so she can. Someone from the library wanders in, she can just pretend like she's the movie monster. So.
You're going to use alter appearance?
Yep.
Charisma
It
plus
is-
subterfuge.
All right. So 2. I can alter appearance based on each success, but
Yep.
yeah. I got 2 successes, so she'll actually change her skin to be like dark green, and she'll give her make her hair like pitch black. So
Okay.
ooh,
And you see
positively
as she
terrifying.
concentrates on this lore of, on the powers of creation, as her skin changes and her hair shifts color.
That's
Well,
pretty
that's
badass.
cool.
Virginia steps over the little bit of wall left and starts going down the stairs with a flashlight in one hand and a sledgehammer in the other.
Okay, so Virginia's in the front?
Mhm.
Okay, I just wanted to know this. As you move down in it, the stairs head down lower, and you walk down them, and immediately the first thing that hits you is the smell of the dusty, stale air that's down here, and the moisture level increases dramatically. And as you're walking through it, the moisture starts getting, you can feel the humidity. And as you're walking through a twisting, turning corridor almost, there's no side passages, there's no doorways, but you start to see a fog settling in around you. Starts to make it harder and harder to see around you the further you're going in here.
That's
I have
certainly not natural. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
I have an in-game physics question for you.
Okay?
So if I use Lure of Light to make it brighter in the room on the whole, will that kind of cause what happens when you have like your high beams
Yes.
on in a fog? Okay.
It would reflect off the fog
Okay.
and make it.
I'm going to summon wind
Okay?
to blow this fog out of the way.
Good use of that power. Let's see how well this is. This is going to be an opposed roll. For that, let me pull your power up. You are going to use stamina plus survival.
Okay. And I want to use my hazard specialty
Sure.
because this is seeming a little bit hazardous.
Sure, I will let you have that. As we both shake our maracas of death.
One of these days, that's going to have to be the name of a chronicle you run, Death Maracas.
Nice.
Go, I got mine.
8. I had exploding 10s.
As you call upon the powers of creation, once again, you all feel the wind start to pick up a bit. And though it pushes the mist from close to you, it's the mist you can tell is fighting back. So while you can easily see each other, you still can't see more than about 10 feet down the corridor. The mist is almost as if it has
A sentience?
an intelligence of its own that resists it and keeps filling back in as the wind pushed it away. But you can at least see each other.
Is it possible to do like a legacy roll here?
It's always possible to do a legacy roll.
What would I roll then?
Intelligence legacy, difficulty 6. And for the viewers, just so you've heard me say legacy a lot, legacy is calling on your memories as a demon before you had a body, because most of the time these demons, they can't always remember all the details from eons and eons ago.
I got 4 on that legacy roll.
0. 4?
I got a 0, yeah.
What are you trying to search your memory about?
This fog, if it's familiar.
It is not familiar, but it is familiar. You have seen fog used to these type of things, but there's something completely unnatural about it. You can't place an exact point when you've seen it before, but you know it's been done by your kind before.
Do I feel the corruption in it?
That's a good answer. Or a good question. And for that, I will tell you, yes.
The fog's corrupted.
As you continue moving through here, and as you're advancing, footsteps are echoing as you hear the water dripping. This corridor, you swear it has to be looping back on itself, but it's not, because there's no side passages, there's no turns, there's no twists. You're just walking, turning left and right where the passage goes, sometimes up, sometimes down. And then suddenly, Virginia is not there. Virginia, you're walking along when the lights that were behind you of your fellow fallen disappear from behind you. And you feel something warm in your pocket as you're standing there alone.
It's that amulet.
Erizeth?
Do I hear?
Her?
No,
I don't hear it.
you are in an empty hallway that looks identical to the rest.
Oh, do come out.
There's no answer.
Is the fog still around me?
Yes. But it seems to be thinner where you are.
I'll keep going then.
Okay. We'll come back to you in a bit. As everyone else is wandering, what are you going to do now? Virginia has disappeared.
Did her wind disappear with her?
Yes.
Shit.
Hang
Erizeth.
on.
Everybody hold hands. We don't want to lose each other.
And don't panic if you feel me do something weird. And as I take whoever is grabbing for it, I'll go apocalyptic form.
Okay. So you're going to invoke your apocalyptic form. So to invoke your apocalyptic form, let me pull up my thing for that one. Because you've got to roll it. I'll scroll up, find where I have this noted here, because we got it saved for that. I know I have it here. Where did I put it? Yes, here we go. You roll your faith pool versus difficulty 6.
That shouldn't be too hard. And you said it only takes 1 to actually get me to that point,
Yep.
right?
Only 1. And as long as you don't botch, you'll be fine.
I definitely didn't botch. That's 2 successes.
Okay. So you pull, and a little bit of what you once were of your time as an angel is pulled forth from your body, and you all see Carsador manifest. Now, please describe to everybody what your apocalyptic form looks like.
Well, in the first episode, we already saw his regular apocalyptic form, what he looked like during creation, or closer to what he looked like. This is a little different. The lines still carve out from his eyes and circle up into his scalp, around his neck, but you can tell that it's less like traces of lines that shift around his face and more the way carved lines in stone would look, crisscrossing with bits of abyssal black color and red. His eyes have sunken into the point where you really can't see them all that well, and everyone feels the air around him just vibrate it's very pitchy and unstable, as if the way he can travel and move shouldn't be. And I will take the high torment version of my apocalyptic form.
Okay. So gain 1 torment,
Fine with me.
temporary torment for doing so.
First temp torment I've gotten all chronicle. And as he speaks to everyone, his voice also is pitching and shifting and being a little, not difficult, but harder to understand. Now I think I'm ready.
I'd agree. We need to get in contact with Arizeth. I can't reach her
Well, you
by
could.
reaching out.
Have you tried saying her name?
Yes, several times.
You said I
Oh,
couldn't
that's right.
hear it.
You can't hear it.
Well, then let's do this quickly. And I will find path to Arizeth. I'm sick of this shit.
Okay. So you're going to find the path. Now, when you find this path, it is perception plus survival. Normally, the difficulty would be 6, but because you're in your apocalyptic form,
Difficulty reduced by 2 on all
you have
perception.
an enhanced perception. That's correct. Your difficulty is 4. So you're going to roll perception plus survival as you're using your improved abilities.
Well, shit. That gets it to 4 successes.
4 successes. That's pretty good. I'm going to roll something against you. They don't have the reduced difficulty that you have. As you lay your path, you feel, as you twist the powers of creation, the rules of the universe to find your path through here. As you do this, something pushes against you and attempts to stop you. But the determination, especially in your current apocalyptic form, between dead reckoning that refuses to allow you to get turned around or to lose your place, and your enhanced perception of the way reality works, you push past it, and you see how they're doing this. You see the path that can lead you towards Arizeth.
I start directing whoever's in front.
Except you don't have to walk in the front. It involves walking backwards and then going back the way you came, and then sometimes doubling back forward, sometimes going back the way you came. And each time you change direction, what was behind you is no longer behind you, and what is in front of you has shifted. It's almost like by the very nature of changing direction, you're changing entire paths.
I just keep going, unfazed by the changing scenery.
And as you're doing this, you notice that the mist that was starting to encroach again and get thicker has lightened up. It's thinned up a bit. And Virginia, as we flash to you as you're walking.
She's going to change to her apocalyptic form.
Okay.
And she's using the low torment one.
Okay. So you're going to roll your faith pool as well.
Yeah, that's 3 successes.
Okay. So you shift, and you can once again describe your form as you shift into, you're in more angelic version of yourself.
She's already flawless in her current human form, but as she takes on her angelic facade, she becomes a bit taller, stronger, more graceful, and beautiful brown and golden yellow hawk wings sprout from her back. And around her is just this like aura of life and health and vitality.
As you're moving forward now, suddenly there's movement in the mists in front of you.
She's going to ready the sledgehammer because now she's got improved physical abilities.
And as you ready your sledgehammer, one of the shapes detaches itself, and suddenly Clark is in front of you.
Carsador, I knew you'd find me.
Please, if you would, do not hit me with the sledgehammer. It would be very painful.
I'm not.
As these two celestial beings in their celestial form are standing.
We've also got the weird heaven-hell parallel between the two of us, too.
Yeah, she looks like a freaking angel.
Angel, and I look like something crawled
Like
out
a
of the earth
stone
and is trying
demon.
to kill you.
Hell yeah.
Now that you're reunited,
Is it
Virginia,
just me, or is it everyone else, too?
everyone was behind you.
Right, because we were all holding hands and stuff,
Mhm.
too.
As you're holding hands, now you're standing with Virginia as Arazeth, as she's standing there. That coin is still warm in your pocket, Arazeth.
She switches hands with the sledgehammer. Takes out the amulet.
When she pulls out this amulet that had an unknown symbol carved into it before,
This
You can
transported me.
you can see it when she pulls it out. There's a darkness surrounding it, and it's bits and pieces of this darkness, this misted corruption is trailing off it for some reason.
Wow. It's more powerful than we thought.
And definitely worth getting rid of later.
Let's find the girl first.
And I will actually stow my light, because we have plenty, and I will put my other hand on her shoulder, so that way she can have both her hands free.
Okay.
Okay? She puts her light away, holds the sledgehammer and the amulet.
And you just start walking?
I start directing her. Oh, wait.
no, your path
right.
only led to her.
I went to her. You're totally right.
Mm-hmm.
But she has the amulet, so if she keeps walking.
And I still know where the direction of everything is, so we can't get too lost.
Okay.
As you start moving forward again, Carsador, your dead reckoning is showing you what's happening in these tunnels is they're turning, but from time to time, instead of turning correctly, it's almost like you're doing small jumps. Someone has laid a path here of some kind and twisted it on itself. It is definitely something your house can do.
As we walk, my disjointed voice will echo back to everyone, be wary of the ground. If they can do stuff like this, there's nothing stopping them from using the earth to choke you.
Malefactor is so powerful. Synthraziel kind of just mutters to herself.
How high is the ceiling here?
It shifts anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
Arazeth is going to manipulate gravity and float. Her ankle will still be where Carsador can hold it.
Now, remember that you'll have to roll every turn
That's fine.
to do it, which is going to add up very quickly.
That's fine.
Hearing that we might need to keep an eye out, and Alice knowing that she can do that better in apocalyptic form, she's gonna turn into apocalyptic form too.
Okay. So you as well will roll your faithful against a difficulty of 7. And then you'll get to describe your apocalyptic form.
Storyteller, how big, like how wide are these tunnels?
They're about 10 foot wide.
Okay.
They're
That's
made so
three.
that you could easily walk 2 abreast. You can even fit 3 abreast as long as you're not trying to do anything crazy.
3 successes.
That is enough. And you can describe your apocalyptic form as you shift as well.
So when it's unclear when Alice is kind of done shifting, because when she switches over to apocalyptic form, it's this mass of shifting light and shadow that you can't really see a form in and of itself. You can touch and you can kind of like feel where her form actually ends, but outside of that, it's always shifting. And there'll be like sometimes you'll see like scenes of like movies or even like visages of like things y'all have seen today, like in the shifting in the patterns of light and shadow, all just kind of flashing quickly. Yeah.
So now half of this group is in their form.
I
and
got 3 successes on my manipulate
Okay.
gravity roll.
That works as you move forward for a little bit. Now, it does make you weightless, but how do you propel yourself forward? Using your wings?
Mhm.
Okay. You move yourself forward a bit with your wings. Normally, you can't fly with him, but when gravity is not a problem, that makes it much easier to do it. As you're moving forward,
And I'm just hovering. I'm not actually trying to fly, really.
as you're moving forward, the mist is getting thinner and thinner. At some point, what you felt earlier, Kathleen, and now all of you can feel, I can't say it's getting stronger, but you're getting closer to the source. The power has been slowly rising in tempo the whole time. It's just a slow, gradual build. And as you're moving through this, you now start to hear a low murmur of some kind coming from somewhere up ahead. You can't make out words of any kind, but it is a definite murmur. Multiple voices. As you continue ahead, let me get my thing here. I'm going to give, everyone needs to roll. Let's see what we get here. Anyone who has something that helps them with ambushes, you'll get whatever bonuses you have. Perception awareness, please. And if you have anything...
Can I do perception survival?
No, but I will let you use your survival. In this case, your survival specialization will count on your awareness for this particular case. Normally, I don't like to do that, but in this particular case, I will let you do it. It has to be awareness because it's supernatural in origin.
Would insightful work again or no?
Given what you were told, sure.
What was it again? Sorry.
It's going to be perception awareness. If you have something about that makes it harder to ambush you or those kind of things, then you can go with that.
Botch.
A botch?
7.
Okay. 7?
What was the difficulty stated one more time?
6.
Thank you.
I'm blinded by the majesty of the apocalyptic forms, okay?
4 successes.
Okay.
3.
Damn, I didn't realize how much I needed that reduced perception cost.
Yeah. Let me see here.
3.
Okay.
I am in front.
Yep. How many did we know Vivian botched? Virginia?
7.
7? Okay. You see it coming. I'm going to have it miss you automatically. Clark, how many?
4.
4. Dex Athletics for you. Alice?
Okay.
3.
Dex Athletics for you. Kathleen?
5.
Dex Athletics, get 2 bonus dice. Michelle?
Okay.
3.
3. Dex Athletics for you.
If
I
it helps... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Can I persuade you for a dex dodge roll? Because we're dodging something?
Yeah, you didn't see it coming as much, but sure. As for you, Vivian, you're going to roll a soak roll. Number of dice equal to your stamina. Target number is 6.
That's fine by me. At least my stamina's all right.
Storyteller,
Yes.
is the thing that is coming towards us a... here, let me read the exact... Is this a ranged attack?
Yes, it is.
Cool, then their difficulty to hit me increases by 2 because I'm making the air shimmer around me, which makes it harder to hit me.
Yes. 2 successes.
2 successes?
On my soak.
What you see, Virginia, coming at you is chunks of concrete, earth, rock, stone. It just flies down the corridor towards you all. Vivian, you take 1 bashing damage from being slammed with all this stuff. Virginia, you took none. How many did you get, Alice?
I got 0.
0. So you roll your stamina for a soak. Kathleen, how many successes did you get? 3. You don't have to soak. Michelle?
3.
You don't have to soak either. And Clark? You don't have to soak either. So only Alice has roll stamina against difficulty of 6.
Do we get specialties for this potentially?
Not for this one. This is just to see how much damage you're taking from the hit.
That was 3.
3. You take 1 bashing damage as all this bits of rock and everything slam into
Do
you.
I see who sent it?
No, you can't, but it came from ahead of you somewhere.
I'm going to keep moving forward. And this time, I'm actually summoning my winds to carry me forward.
Oh boy.
I'll let go of her at that point,
Okay, you're going to use summon wind, stamina plus survival.
because otherwise she's gonna turn me into the string connected to the fucking weather balloon and just drag me through these fucking tunnels.
That is 6 successes.
And you surge forward on it. You all feel the air gust as she pushes, stalls it, pulls it forward as she surges forward. As you get down this hallway, Virginia, you come to a large room. It's really abrupt, as a matter of fact. From the mist fading to almost gone, there's almost a curtain you can't see through as you clear it. But when you clear it, there is a large, misshapen, 4-armed creature, spikes, black ooze dripping off it. Easily put it at 10 feet tall in this room. It's covered in, it's got gemstones on its skin, but they're broken and cracked. The earth looks somehow torn and damaged. And it's standing there. Now, you've seen these forms before. You know what makes these forms. There's a malefactor in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And she's immediately going to do her high torment version of Fist of Air at it. That does lethal.
You can do that one. Hang on. You're going to have to roll initiative first.
Okay.
Because it knew you were coming. The rest of you are trying to catch up, so you're not involved in it this turn. But what would you like to ask? For you, real quick, for your, Virginia, for your initiative is 10-sided die, add your dex and your wits to it.
Would you like us to roll our initiatives but just not act on
Go
anything
ahead.
yet?
Yeah, you
so
can
that
have them
way
rolled
we
for
can
now.
get it out of the way?
Yep.
That is 17.
17? Okay.
13.
To roll initiative, you roll 1d10 and then add your stamina and wits to your result of your d10.
Mm-hmm.
And then some apocalyptic forms do
Have
shit
bonuses,
to initiative,
yes.
so be sure to check on that.
I am immune to falling damage.
Mm-hmm.
I am not. Please don't drop me.
Do not throw me, please.
Okay, so who else has what? I'll just, so I can make a note.
Carsador got 19 because his player rolled a 10 on the die.
Nice.
Same for Michelle, only 16.
Mars got 16. Alice.
I'm sorry, can you say what it was again or how to do it?
Roll 1d10 and then
Yep.
add your stamina plus your wits.
Okay, thank you.
Is it stamina plus wits or dex?
Dex plus wits, not stamina.
I thought you said stamina.
Nope, dex.
Oh, dex. I'm
Stamina
sorry.
is your attacks you're doing and shit.
That's right. It's dex. I'm sorry.
Okay, so then
I only
15.
check for werewolf reasons.
Sorry.
Okay,
My bad.
15, that's fine. Okay. What do you?
Speaks been screwy.
How much?
That
15.
15. Good to know.
that
Kathleen.
puts me down at 12 as well. Sorry.
I'm gonna say if it's Dex, I only have a 7. So
Okay. Now we know what everybody has. We'll be using this as we go forward. You're going to throw air at it. You actually get to go first. So go ahead. Throw your air attack at it. And you're using a high torment. Please give yourself, of course, your 1 torment. And then you're going to roll it's Fist of Air. And you're going to roll stamina plus survival.
That is 7.
Okay. He gets to soak.
And it does lethal damage.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. And this big, I mean, it's you focus your hate as you call upon the wind to hit it with this punch. And it hits the thing, the sheer size of him, though, he doesn't move at all. It doesn't even seem to stagger him because he's a giant stone thing as he's standing there. And he laughs as the rest of you are pulling forward. And then he strikes. Now, he's going to hit you. Well, he's got his own little bit. I gotta pull my power back up here. You're flying, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just making sure. Going to roll his. You need to do a dodge roll, please.
Okay.
Dex plus dodge.
Okay.
Or Dex athletics. I like to, you can use either one if you wish.
Can I have lightning reflexes?
Yes, you can use that specialization.
Thank you.
For a game that we weren't originally planning combat, you all charge right into fucking danger like, let's Leroy Jenkins it.
Hey, nothing bad happened in the end.
Yet.
That's 7.
A 7?
Mm-hmm.
Nice roll. But you need to roll a soak roll.
Okay. That's my stamina.
Yep, pure stamina against difficulty of 6.
Okay.
As this giant, it almost can be called a giant fist, comes up from the stone under you and swats you from the sky.
Mm-hmm. That's 4 successes.
4 successes. And it slams into you, knocking you back down the hall from which you flew. But it does not cause any actual damage to you.
And I'm flying right back in.
Because, of course, the gravity wasn't affecting you. So you all, as you were coming down the hallway, you see Virginia.
Get knocked back.
Fly back down the hallway. As you all go to advance. Now, I'm going to give you all a chance if you need to say anything to each other before you move forward to this room with this thing.
And she's like, go apocalyptic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Michelle is definitely gonna go apocalyptic.
Now you can shift without losing your action, so you can shift as you're moving, which is perfectly fine. So you'll roll your faith pool against a difficulty 7 as you shift into your apocalyptic form, as you take on your more natural form.
At first, I was worried that me going apocalyptic, and if the girls saw me, that I'd end up accidentally revelationing her. But nah, clearly no demon gives a fuck here. So she's already seen the truth. If she's conscious.
That would be true.
2.
2, that's enough. You only need more. As long as you get 1, you can do it. As you...
Did I see the girl in the room?
No, this is just an empty room. You didn't even really get a chance to look for a door on the other side as, a giant fist come at you.
Okay.
Sorry, the earth hits worse than a truck. My apologies. Although it didn't seem
All
to do too much
good!
to you.
And now this is another turn if you wish to maintain your lack of gravity.
I will roll it.
And I'm going to say, if you continue to manipulate gravity, you won't be able to use any other powers. Because you can't split using multiple powers a turn normally.
Then I will land on the ground.
Okay?
And I am going to, keep moving forward.
You all see her settle to the ground so that she can focus her powers of creation. And as y'all move forward as a group, and you step in the room, you see this thing in front of you all. Clark, you know this is of your house. You know this particular form is someone who has succumbed to the pain of the abyss from a mechanical sense.
It also is seeming like one of the what were they called before we all fucked up? Kishar. The ones that were the most tied to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a traveler. They actually are the earth.
Right here, as they're facing down this monstrous fallen angel, we are going to go to break, everybody. Will they survive or not? You're going to have to answer that question in 10 minutes. Please, everybody, enjoy the break. And the break actually contains what each of these houses are and their powers. So if you are curious about what each of these fallen have, see it in the break. See you in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, well, Virginia just orked into a malefactor there, and the rest of this choir of fallen are proceeding down the hallway and are storming him. And this is where we're opening up. It's straight combat at this point. It's already quite apparent this is going to be hostility. The first one to go is going to be Carsador. Carsador, what are you doing against this member of your own house?
I take it you've looked better, cousin. And I'm going to do a quick, once over of the space we're in. See if I see a hostage or something like that.
It is kind of a circular domed room. The ceiling here is about 20 feet tall, which doesn't make sense because it shouldn't have 20 feet to put above it, but it does. There's no other openings that are obvious, though. That odd curtain thing you step through to get in here, there's a few places on the wall where it seems to be gathering.
Have we determined if we've reached the, terminus of that fucking bad feeling?
No, but you're very close to it now.
All right. I honestly am assuming that wherever we find that is where we probably find her. So let's try it this way. I will find path directly to that awful goddamn feeling.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to find path. So, once again, you're going to roll perception plus survival.
At what difficulty?
Difficulty will be 6.
Is that after or before the reduction?
That will be after the reduction.
Okay, so it's at 6.
There is still something fucking with your powers here.
That's okay. 2 successes.
Still enough. You're not far from it. The leftmost curtain of mist is where your path leads. You can see it.
I'm going to go into a full sprint that way, and as I run, everyone watches as Carsador seems to, his perspective changes until he is exactly a third of the height he was before, and then keep running.
Okay, you're going to shift.
If I have to run through my cousin's legs, I will do just that.
You're going to use your size that comes as part of your particular...
The
can alter
tormented
size.
version of my form, yeah.
Yep.
I can alter my size up to a third, so I'm going to go very small.
So you see him as he's running, he's shrinking smaller.
Makes it harder to hit me, by the way.
Now we go to Virginia. You have the next highest number.
All right, I'm going to hit him with the sledgehammer.
Okay, you're going to just straight up slam him with a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
For you, that is going to be, let me pull this back up so we make sure we do it. It is going to be Dex plus Brawl, or of course I always allow Strength plus Brawl. Actually, it's melee. Dex plus melee or Strength plus melee. Actually, no, sorry. In this game, it has to be Dex melee.
Okay.
Yep. Your target number is 6.
That's 5 successes.
5 successes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're using a sledgehammer. Now you get to roll 7 dice against difficulty 6 to see what he has to try to soak.
Do 10s explode?
No.
Okay.
Nice try, though.
That is 6 successes.
You slam this sledgehammer into his form, and it cracks one of the gems. But that's about all it seems to do. It does not... He doesn't even stagger back from the hit.
That's fine. I'll keep cracking.
Now we
I
get
will
to
crack
pop
that
down
nut.
2. Looking at these overall numbers. Next, we got Mars and the boss. What is your two's plans? Drulariel. There you go. See, I'm a little better with her name this time.
We still need Delirio's form, don't we?
Yes.
Yes, please describe your
Yes.
apocalyptic form, Drulariel. Come on.
Okay, so I am in low torment form. You see her hair just recede completely into a bald head, and just you can't see her face at all. Wings come out of her back, big, black, feathered, raven-like wings. All around her is like a gray mist, not completely dark, but just like a gray, like kind of like smoky kind of mist. And her skin, from what you can see, is just, it is much paler than Michelle's skin, almost translucent looking. But oddly enough, she does not go gaunt as you would expect from a Grim Reaper kind of look. She still is chubby and soft looking at the same time.
Is still enough to remind people of an angel of death, that memory that people have. What is your plan for the boss and Mars? What are your plan to do this round as you're facing off against this thing?
Nibas, you can go first if you want.
Okay. So I want to go into face-to-face combat range.
Okay.
And I am going to just like take my hand, hold it up, and then do first level of Lore of Light, which is just light, to try and
Try to
blind
blind him?
yeah. And then does that count as part of the Daredevil merit? Or no? Because it doesn't. It puts me in range for damage, but I don't actually take damage this turn.
I will give you that willpower back for the Daredevil merit, or not Daredevil merit. Or is that a merit? Wait a minute, I was thinking your other part.
Yeah, Daredevil is a merit where I get 3 extra dice and ignore 1 botch when I'm attempting a dangerous action.
That I will give you that as a dangerous action, because it is quite dangerous what you've decided to do.
Yep.
So go ahead. I will let you have that. So first you have to roll stamina plus science as you call upon the powers of creation and pull a light from nowhere out of your hand.
And then is determined count?
No.
How do we eat demons?
We'll see if you have to get them forced out of their body, or you have to kill their body and force them out. And
Okay.
then you can deal with it.
Okay.
It's just diablerie with extra steps.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Although careful, rocks go down like kidney stones.
We shall see.
7.
7. And you flash out this bright light, and you all see it pop from her hand, but it's not focused on you. It's focused right on where you suspect his eyes would be. And it, with a roar of pain, it screams out as his beam hits it. Focused light. Mars, what are you doing?
I am going to cast Vision of Mortality, which is manipulation intuition for me.
Okay. Let me see what we got here. Visions of mortality. Going to fill the mind of his foes with impending death. Manipulation plus intuition, it says, and he gets a willpower roll. And his target, the difficulty for him is equal to your faith, which is 4. Okay. And we'll see what you get.
Does he take damage from the light?
No. But he's blind, which means when he tries to attack, he's at a severe penalty of doing shit other than being blind.
Oh, okay. It says it does bashing damage, but it's fine.
He can't take bashing damage from that.
Got it.
Unfortunately, he doesn't take bashing damage at all.
Dang.
How'd you roll, Michelle?
3.
3? As you attempt to fill his mind with these visions of his impending death. You can't tell what it did. You'll find out when you find whether he flees or not. And now, on the initiative, we get down to his go. Blinded at the time. Somebody cracked him with a sledgehammer. Going to roll as you feel the fabric of creation twist. As he calls upon his own lore powers. One minute, he's standing there. And the next minute, you see him just sink down into the earth, into the concrete under him.
Okay. He's running.
Or he's setting up an ambush.
That's fine.
I'm blinded and pushed. He apparently isn't ready to fight this way.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna say, okay, let's follow Carsador.
Actually, is it possible for me to open up the conference call just to be safe?
Of course you can.
Excellent. Actually, I don't want to just meta this because he would basically know, but I'll give it a chance to fuck up. May I roll Legacy and tell everyone exactly what every member of my house was able to do?
You would know this.
Oh, perfect. Then
You don't have to
need roll.
remember what your house could do. That's one of the few memories you still have is your house.
All right, then I will share every aspect I remember about the Kishar, every aspect I remember about myself, the Antu, and then, God, I can't remember the names of the last ones.
They're larger.
The Mumu, which were the Angels of the Forge.
The
They
Kishar
didn't really
that you
show
just
up until
faced.
later.
They're immune to bashing. They can't be budged or pushed, at least not easily because they're irresistible force. See perfectly in the dark. Their maw can eat anything. And when I say anything, they can chew metal, anything they wish to chew with it. The spikes cause even to a celestial aggravated wounds. And the ichor, it makes them almost impossible to grapple. You just slide right off them when you try.
Blunt force is the way to usually take us out. Keep it up.
If he pops back up, I will.
Perception awareness. everybody, please. Difficulty 6.
4 for me.
Is
Yep.
it possible to see him through the ground with my lamp of faith?
You can
Because I
try.
can detect his
That is 5.
faith.
For your lamp of faith, as always, you're going to roll your perception alertness as you try to feel the faith. 5 for Virginia. 1, 3. You can't penetrate the stone beneath you with the lamp of faith. You don't feel anything down there. 4. 5 right now is the best.
6.
6. 5 and 6 is enough.
4.
4. 5 and 6 is enough. He's still there lurking. He's backed off a bit. He's not near the surface, but you can feel the powers of creation he's using to keep himself moving through the stone as he lurks beneath you all, moving as you move. And I
Can't
assume
pick him up.
I can sense him. He's following us.
Okay. What do we do?
Keep going. Until he pops his head up. What are we going to do?
you move towards this curtain that Karstor's standing by at this point. When you step through it, you no longer sense him following under you because you've moved. You are not directly there. You've stepped through another odd portal connected between locations. And now that chanting is much louder. It is a murmuring. It is not the divine language, but there's bits and pieces of the divine language in it that you can hear from up ahead. And you can actually see the room up ahead. It is a stone room, circular once again, with columns that are carved with all kinds of symbols. You can see the robed people standing around, one in front of each column, with an altar in the center where a woman is laying as they're all chanting around this individual.
Is there a higher concentration of them in any one particular area, or are
Nope,
they evenly
spaced all the way around it.
Okay.
There's all kinds of symbols on the floor. There's blood on the floor. And they are all standing, from what you can tell, your guess based on what you can see is it's a circle of people around this woman as they're chanting. And right now, the pitch of their chanting is not that strong. It's just a low murmur. As they've been, your guess based on what you've been feeling, they're slowly building the power of what they're doing.
Synthraziol, do you sense faith in them?
What can I sense? What can I tell?
They have faith. They are
Oh, yes.
various amounts, all of it low, none of it very high.
Virginia's going to walk forward, and she's going to reap faith.
You can't unless you force them to acknowledge your divinity. But as you're sitting there, there's something
I'm
else.
angelic.
Yeah, well, hang on. There's something else with your lamp of faith that you're picking up. Though they have their own faith, what they're doing doesn't seem, it seems to be generating a very low amount of faith, a very slight amount, but it's a constant slight amount. And it seems to be dissipating to somewhere, but you can't tell where it's heading.
So Alice talks to you all. I can create something terrifying that forces them to flee. They can no longer perform the ritual if you would like.
Go for it.
Okay.
They're
So-
pulling faith into somewhere. I'm not
If
sure
there's
where.
any stragglers, kill them. We don't have time to be nice.
I will do High Torment Phantasm.
You're going to do a high torment
Or
phantasm.
that.
That's an interesting one. Of course, right off, you're doing a high torment. Take your temporary torment, please.
Yep.
And then roll intelligence plus performance. What are you trying to do so I can know what your difficulty will be?
Okay, so I want to essentially recreate one of the most horrifying scenes I saw from the war in the middle of the area they're enchanting.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Intelligence versus performance.
Okay. As you do
Second.
that, you can roll that intelligence plus performance, please. I've got to get another roll as you do this from Vivian now.
Oh,
Vivian, you are going to roll. Let me find your flashbacks flaw.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Had to happen at some point. At least this way you see it coming.
Yep, you've got to roll your flashbacks flaw. Please do a willpower check against difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8.
Also, chat. No, we cannot describe the horrors she is about to recreate in this room.
Oh, I'll
They
describe
are
it for
beyond
you.
description.
I'll describe it for you.
Nightmare.
Yeah, you're the storyteller, but us as demons refuse to try and recall that shit.
Willpower roll against difficulty 8.
You're muted.
What was a success for it with that vision? 6 or higher?
For what you're trying to do, difficulty's got to be 8 because the complexity of it pushes it way up.
Okay, I think that was 1 success then.
So you can only briefly do it, but it's still there. Did you get any successes, Vivian? Okay, remember this. I will flash you in a second. You all see from this room abominations strode in from the tunnel you're coming in. They are beings of light, stone, pure nightmare of darkness and fire and pestilence. As you see, they fall upon people that come screaming out of the eaves of it, cut apart, chopped apart, sickness, insects clogging their face. Vivian, you were flashing back to one of the battles. You've seen this battle. This is in front of Lucifer Citadel itself during the final fight before Lucifer was forced to bend the knee. As the humans were destroyed by the heavenly host for being in the way of the fallen angels. Even the fallen angels were killing the humans at the same time because casualties they weren't cared about right now. You are trapped in this particular scene. As you see, once again, for you, this was the moment your house lost the war officially, where you were forced to admit defeat.
No.
As one, the cultists look at it, and their heads all snap up. And they just cock their head. But you notice they don't stop chanting. And as they look up, you notice their eyes, every single one of them's eyes are rolled back in their head.
Okay.
You have seen this before. This is something to do with the fervor of this ritual they are tied up in. They don't stop chanting, and they don't move. None of them takes a single step from the spot they're standing in.
Arazeth just walks on in.
And nothing stops you.
Making a beeline to the woman, and I'll start, not immediately, but I'll start growing back up to my normal height.
She walks up to one and snaps his neck.
It doesn't resist.
She walks up to another and snaps his neck.
They don't stop chanting.
She'll do it to all of them.
When you snap the last one, there's something, it ripples. It's almost like a backlash. You don't know what it is. It doesn't hurt you in any way, but you feel it as if you've cut a link that whipped back to its source. And the bodies are all around now, trying to decide. I do not think I'm going to give you a torment for that because they were obviously enslaved. So I don't think that violates the torment. And Vivian is still standing there, shaking.
Carsador, you have the girl?
Getting her now.
When you pick her up, her eyes look at you blankly.
I nod, but I know she probably doesn't quite register it. And I would like to do Find the Path again, storyteller.
When you pick her up, she's just as limp.
Expected. I would like to find path. For now, because he's working off of just getting her out of here, he'll just do find path back to his his apartment, I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Arazeth is going to lay the amulet on the fucking beer.
Oh, sorry, that just reminded me somehow. I also want to specify, because I can set conditions for the path I'm looking for. I want to specify safe for humans. Because otherwise I could take her down some really dangerous places, and I don't want to do that.
As you're standing there and you're working and you're invoking the powers of creation, that dagger that you have with you, that you're carrying, it's moving in your pocket of its own accord. Seems to be struggling to break free of your pocket.
Who here feels destructive right now?
I do.
When
Can
don't
you
we?
break a dagger?
Lay it on the thing. I'll smash it with the sledgehammer.
I discard it. I clearly can't deal with fixing my baby, so I'll just do the next best thing.
And I hit it with the hammer.
Okay, you can do a strength check. Just straight strength. As you find your path. Now, did you roll your path?
I did, and I got 3 successes.
3 successes.
I got 4 successes.
Okay. You smash the sledgehammer down on this dagger. The sledgehammer bounces off it. This was a weapon forged by a celestial being. It's not that easy to break those weapons.
Okay, then I'm going to do Fist of Air. Punch it right down on top of it.
Okay.
See if it'll take lethal.
You're going to invoke another torment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stamina plus survival.
That's 5 successes.
5 successes. The air slams against it. This is the power of creation. This is the power of an angel. Fallen, but angel. It slams against it. And while the dagger does not seem to take any damage from it, whatever's in it separates out from the dagger. You see it. It has an odd form. It's twisted, misshapen. I can't even call it a fallen angel's form. It's a person. But the person has an arm that's too long, a leg that's too long. They're misshapen. And the spirit form of whatever it is, soul, laughs as it begins to come apart.
I think it's clean now.
Please retrieve it for me. I say as I'm halfway across the room carrying this woman out.
I pick it up. Does it still feel corrupted?
No. But it also doesn't feel like it has any power of creation in it anymore.
That's okay.
What are you all doing about Vivian as you're trying to get this path? Because she is currently...
I was waiting for a break to say exactly this. Sorry. While everyone's been doing their hubbub, Kathleen is, of course, gone over to Vivian and has, put her arm kind of like under around her back, kind of up on her side, so she can kind of support her some, if that makes sense. She's just kind of talking softly into her ear and just like reassuring her that, it's okay. She's not going back to that place. This is a temporary thing, and that she can, she's come through this and become stronger for it. Kind of the usual kind of niceties you say to somebody who's going through something like this.
Please roll a willpower check, Vivian, against difficulty 8.
Trying to slow down the brain so it stops thinking. Harder to do than people realize.
2 successes.
2 successes. You somehow manage to restrain yourself from attacking Kathleen as she touches you, as these painful memories are filling you. It takes you a bit for her to pull you back from that edge, from that feeling of the loss.
It was our fault. It was our fault. We lost.
It wasn't your fault. Others made choices and they drug us all into it. Don't blame yourself for the problems that we found ourselves in.
So sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for.
Alice will go up to her too, recognizing that this is her fault. And I'm so sorry. I thought it's real. It's not real. An illusion. It's not your fault. Remember, we're angry at Lucifer, not you.
No.
It's going to be okay. Clark is going to get us out of here, and we're all going to go and cool off someplace. We don't have to think about these things. The past is the past for a reason. Remember that. You are not today who you were then.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize. There's nothing to apologize for. We are all allies in this together.
It's my fault, not yours.
No.
I should have been more thoughtful.
It's okay.
We're in this together, though.
We're in this together.
As you move forward, following this path that Carsador has.
I'd also, while they're comforting her and stuff, Carsador will remind everyone, be sure to check the stone. He is still around.
Looking over what everybody has here. I assume you just did perception awareness?
Or alertness, whichever one applies, because they both have the same.
It's awareness for this.
Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay. You don't feel it anywhere nearby. No. Other than the odd feeling you're getting from these misty kind of doorways that you see, you feel no powers of creation used here.
The only thing I feel is the mist.
I feel this is probably a good time for us to all leave, personally.
Yes, let's go.
Do we just leave the bodies?
Yep.
They're not worth worrying about unless
There was
even
a
if you feel
cult
like there was
down
something you
here
could do.
chanting.
They were siphoning to something.
Yeah,
To someone.
to something.
Before we go, Drilleriel, should you try and see what else they saw in advance in case there was someone else who wasn't here, who left? Can you do that?
Storyteller, how long have they been chanting for?
You'll find out when you look into their eyes, won't you?
Okay.
I mean, you got a bunch of dead people to choose from.
Yeah.
Right? You can read faith by looking into their dead body's eyes. Perception plus awareness.
Might not be the worst idea to prioritize the ones that were closer to those like veiled like passageways, because they might have seen someone go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, you get to see, depending on your successes, your difficulty is of course 6. You can see the moment of death with 2 successes, minutes back, 3 successes, hours, days back before, with 4 successes or more.
So it was 4.
4. As you look back, peer through this person's eyes, the body you're looking at, they've been down here for 3 days, chanting, slowly building in tempo. What you were feeling before when you were outside this library that was bits and pieces was the start of a ceremony. The woman was placed on the bier not long ago, just this day. It was placed there by a creature of stone, the one you saw. It brought her here and deposited her at the center of this ritual. From what you can tell, for the broader context behind this passing, you know that they expected to be here for another day, increasing in tempo until this ritual was complete.
Synthraziel's. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Michelle pulls back from reading Fate and explains that they've been here for at least 3 days and they expected to be here longer. And that stone creature that we saw, it was the one that brought the girl in.
What'd you say was the best way to kill him, Carsador?
Blunt force, non-physical attacks would also be quite useful.
Okay.
Things that will affect the mind, the soul.
Virginia
The body
backtracks and
is
goes the
tough.
way she came.
Okay. And Carsador, you're taking the woman a different route. I'm going to point out to Virginia, you laid the amulet down. Are you sure you can go back the path you came without picking up that amulet again? Or will you get lost in the mists?
She's going to go kill a malefactor.
Then, if that's truly your intent, Carsador would encourage you to keep the amulet despite its danger.
There's more if everybody would like one. You can pick them up off the dead cultists. They all each had one.
Makes my path easier. And it gives me something else to take to Ragdan if I'm ever introduced to him before this ends.
She grabs it.
I do sense convergence to try and see where the next or sense congruence, sorry, where this stone demon will come up again next, or where he's like his next big thing will be.
Go ahead. I will always let you try. You got to read the patterns of creation to try to find a locality or a person at the heart of a convergence of forces. So you're going to try to find a locality of him. Perception and intuition. You can see a number of days in the future equal to your faith score.
Since it's demon, does danger count?
Sure, I will be a generous storyteller for this one.
Okay. Wow. It's even. It was even. Wow, that was 0 successes on like 9 dice, cause ones.
So you try to read the fate, the pattern of fate, and you find nothing. You cannot grasp the threads that are in front of you. As Virginia heads back the way she came. Anyone going with her?
I'll grab one of those pendants first.
Same. I immediately follow.
Actually, if
She looks over, get her out.
she will be gotten out, I only need one person here to help defend. Everyone else should go with Arazeth.
I can go with you, Carsador.
So Carsador and Alice set out. The rest of you go back the way you came. When you step through that curtain of mist, you are once again in that circular chamber. No sign of anything in it with you.
She just taps the fucking floor with the sledgehammer.
And you hear the sledgehammer hit the stone floor and it echoes through the corridors around you. And there is no response.
Coward.
Nothing.
If it's any consolation, most of us are.
Show yourself so you can die with dignity.
There is no response.
Vivian squeezes the pendant so hard it almost breaks it.
Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't even bend in your hand.
He's a strong, very strong.
All right, then I head back towards the library.
And you retrace your path. And when you come back to the library now, granted, you're missing 2 people from your group. I assume everybody follows with them.
Well, they said it came out at another store.
Yeah. And the head librarian's down there. I was wondering where you all went. Where's everybody else?
They went out the other side.
Oh, where that TV store was?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You guys closing up?
Yeah, I've got to go. I've done all the stuff. We got to close now, but
We're heading out.
did you get all the footage you needed?
I think so. What do you think, Alice?
Alice isn't here. Alice went with Clark.
Sorry. Sorry. Yes, we did actually. Alice just took it out to the van.
I assume somebody's going to come and put these bricks back and patch it back up the way it used to be?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, of course.
Well, did you see anything cool down there?
Nah, it's just spooky and dark.
I know, it
Perfect
still,
for what we needed.
Still sets my teeth on edge, and you can still, by the way, feel that offness about the room you're in.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Oh, God. When are you going to send somebody to patch this up? Tomorrow?
We'll get somebody out here tomorrow.
Okay. And the woman obviously off kilter. Something about this room always does set her off on a back foot. She doesn't even ask questions about how the rest of you are planning to get out when they took the other exit. And you all exit the library. Now, for Clark and Alice, the path leads around a bit and a bit more.
Apologies, the space seems folded. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
It is. But eventually, you find yourself standing in a sewer. Now, you don't know where you are in the sewer yet, but you'll find out shortly when you try to come out of it. The woman in your arms, she's still glassy-eyed. Her eyes are moving a little more than they were. seems to have slowly recovered a little bit.
Nibas, do you or your body have any medical knowledge or training?
I can. Unfortunately, not.
Hmm.
My science skills relate to special effects.
Not.
But we may want to drop our apocalyptic forms. in case
I
she
assume
thinks
they
that-
went away because the scene changed.
Okay.
They've
Okay,
dropped
Yeah,
good.
during
they
scene change.
faded. That was just a vocal tick on his end.
Okay, good.
You can tell he's still in it, even though he's not in it. Very well. We will just have to assume that she is worse for wear, and we're heading towards Clark's residence.
When you
But if you
climb,
think
first you got to climb out of the sewer. When you climb out of the sewer, you're about a block from the college. Which makes no sense because you walked a
Yeah,
lot
I
further
don't-
than that.
I also don't live near the college, right?
No. But your vehicles are there.
Something happened. I didn't intend to go here.
I mean, you
I
said
either
space.
found a different path or something redirected me.
I mean, when two paths converge, I guess it leads to some interesting places. Hard to keep your own when someone else is playing games.
I suppose, given I selected a path safe for humans, potentially the path to my home is not. I do traverse that path often.
Is there something on that path that's not usually safe for humans, or is this an oddity?
Me.
Aside from that, though, make it so she couldn't go on that path now.
Not that I'm aware of, but that doesn't make it a guarantee.
I guess my question is there any way that Geodude back there knows how to get to where you live? Or at least on the way.
If a path exists, Clark.
There
path
is a
can be found.
non-zero chance that he or another who is of similar skill could do such a thing. If you wish, you can drive. We can take her to a battered women's shelter, and I can make sure that we aren't followed.
I can drive. I don't think my bike is the best bet, though.
Entirely fair. Here, let me check something. I'm gonna ping Phil, my hot dog vendor.
Okay.
Are you still at the college?
No, I mean, nobody buys hot dogs this late.
Good. Are you anywhere near the college?
I'm on the other side of town.
Fuck. He actually hears Karstor say that, too. Very well. I'll check elsewhere. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, you're not allowed on that campus anymore. Stay far away from it.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Damn college students, cheapskates. They barely bought anything.
And then I'll swap over to Quinn and see if she can give us a ride. I don't know exactly when she would be let out from work or whatever, but
She answers up. What's up, Carsador?
are you, and I give her like a general neighborhood to be in with a vehicle that is operating and can fit more than two people?
I mean, I've got a transmission I'm elbow deep in, but I can get a vehicle. I'm just trying to get this damn tranny rebuilt so we can get this car back on the road.
Seeing
No, this isn't working. Thank you anyways. And then I'll cut off the connection and turn to Nebos with a, well, shit sort of look on my face.
Carsador struggle, she's
Massively.
going to pull up the conference line.
You're going to speak the
Yes.
celestial names of your fellow
Yes,
demons?
and
Yes.
tell them where we are. Our path didn't necessarily take us where we wanted. We're a little bit away from campus.
About a block away from campus.
You could pick us up. Any vehicles here don't exactly accommodate all of us.
I'll be there shortly.
Your Lariel has her van.
So does Nebraska had a van dropped off that had equipment in it.
Oh, I figured that left.
No,
They
it
just
had all
dropped
the
it off and
equipment in it.
left.
They left it behind for you.
Oh,
But you've got
Oh.
people that can do it.
Your guy got a tweaker to bring a van and then just walk away.
No, that was a different guy. The tweaker was Vivian's.
Oh, right.
But since a bunch of you rode in the same vehicle, it's easy for someone to drive the van, someone to take Virginia's car, and
Virginia will take her car.
you all head over to where Clark and Alice are. And you find him standing there with this woman who's still unconscious. He was smart enough not to start walking down the street with an unconscious body because that might draw attention.
Put her in my car.
I do. I even buckle her in.
Okay.
I'm going to literally put a hand on her and do cleanse.
Okay. So you're going to roll your cleanse ability. You're going to purge that. This is an easy one. The difficulty on this is only going to be 6.
Okay. What am I rolling for it? I forgot.
I'm pulling it up now. You're going to roll stamina and medicine as you invoke the power of the power of creation to purge any virulence or disease or poison from her body.
Do I get the specialty of pathology?
Sure. You will focus your knowledge of creation on what you know of pathology and the like. We shall see what she gets. As she figures out how many times she gets to re-roll.
Six.
With 6 successes, as you all see her, Herzeth pass her hands over this woman's body. She pulls out something that you all can't identify. But for you, Virginia, she was hit with a pretty good sedative. They shot her up real good.
Yeah, we're just going to purge that.
But as you pull it off from her, her breathing evens out a bit. And her eyes flutter open briefly, but then she passes out because she wasn't sleeping real sleep. She was drugged sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And now she actually passes out to sleep. The sleep of somebody who needs it.
Before we go on, may I share something with all of you?
Of course.
And Carsador says his true name to all of them. You get a sense of a path walked and branching off to show a sense of excitement about a journey to come. There are the pressurized rhythmic thuds of feet against dirt as they move. And an almost cold wonder about such travel. If I ever become so far removed that I start resembling my cousin, end me.
Done.
Done. I still felt that evil permeating the air when we left. Back into that basement. I'm a bit concerned.
Y'all need to leave. I'm going to call my husband's ex-partner. Cops were looking for a missing girl, and I just found her.
Kathleen's going to go looking for a payphone, but while she's looking for it, she's actually going to send just a message to just Synthraziel. So,
okay.
Synthraziel, are you doing better?
Yes, Trimdeziel, I am.
If you need to talk, we can convene one-on-one. We can do that.
There's a lot to talk through, I suppose.
Well, if you feel like you need, what is it they say, air quotations, help, you can talk to me. I mean, I may not be a psychiatrist, but Kathleen is, so I guess I am.
Thank you. I I really appreciate it. We did terrible things, and it's hard to be reminded of them.
That is fair. I'm not telling you to be reminded of them. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, I want you to know you've got someone you can talk to. You don't have to bring it to all of us. So you also don't have to bear that weight alone, as it were. I'm sure we all have done things we're not proud of, but we have to just keep making one step at a time. So
I understand. Perhaps we can talk soon then, at length.
don't worry, I won't charge you my normal billing rate. So that's a joke. I'm trying to interject some humor. So
You're too kind. Thank you.
I'll talk to you later, or you can reach out to me whenever you wish. So
Thank you. And the same goes for you.
Now, Virginia's going to stay with her car. I guess everyone else piles into Alice's van so that you can get dropped at your respective vehicles. So Michelle can grab her vehicle. Everybody can grab their stuff. Somebody's going to have to drive Michelle or Alice's van back so that Alice can take her motorcycle, unless you shove it in the back of the van, which is entirely possible.
I kind of figure it actually would do that unless someone doesn't have a ride, and that would be easier for them to like take the van.
No, I was just gonna say, for the purposes of the scene, as it were, Kathleen's not with the group anymore. She did wander off to find a payphone.
Yep.
She will wander her way back to her car. So
Okay.
I specifically cannot take your van. I am colorblind. I legally cannot drive. So, unfortunately, the Carsador will not be the one to do that.
Do you have a way home though, Carsador? Are you gonna do your?
I walk. Good for the health.
You want to ride? The offer's there. But
I feel I need to be alone for a moment.
entirely understood.
And even if it's not obvious to some people, he's shook. So he's not doing well.
Question for you, Virginia. You called your ex-husband's partner.
Not ex-husband, her
Sorry.
late husband.
Late husband's partner. What do you explain to him how you found this woman?
I found her on a bench, passed out. Figure he may want to take her to the hospital.
And when he comes, he actually asks you, "Yeah, she okay? Can I move her?"
She's just sleeping. Whatever happened to her, she's exhausted.
Oh, I'm gonna get her to the hospital. I will be by later. I've got to get a statement from you.
Absolutely.
So,
Just
I trust
knock,
you.
don't ring the bell because the kids will be asleep.
I know. I trust you not to skip town, right?
No. Now, do understand, I have to take kids to camp this weekend.
I'm going to be by tonight.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
That's fine.
I've got it.
That's fine.
I'm going to have to file a report tonight. I'm not going to, because of this, I'm probably not going to get off work till like 2 a.m., but.
That's okay. I probably won't sleep at all tonight. So.
Well, that's just the way this is, isn't it?
Yeah. So thank you, Joe.
And
I just figured it'd be cleaner for you to handle it.
that's fine. I'll take care of it. And I'll get I'll make sure I get your statement and keep you out of the newspapers.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Kathleen, who are you calling?
she's calling her office because she wants to see if the person at the desk is in, and if they are, if a appointment was made for tonight, since she asked one of the two girls that saw the snatching to make an appointment.
At this hour? No, nobody's in there.
Well, then
It's
she's
pretty
gonna
late.
call their home number then, because she knows that too, because she wants to see if someone made an appointment. for
She
tonight.
did make an appointment for late next week.
Fuck. You actually hear Kathleen actually says fuck out loud. She's not, yeah. She's gonna fuck it. She kind of slams the receiver down on the payphone and then just starts walking.
As you are going your separate ways. Mars, Neptune actually says your celestial name. Drulario. Hey, Drulario, you hear me? Is this thing on?
Yes. Hi.
Mic check. Oh, okay, you answered. Good. We got a gig tomorrow night.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Just you told me to
Where was
remind
that
you.
again?
What'd you say?
Where was that again?
Oh, it's over at the Chateau House. I know, weird name, but it's okay. You told me to remind you. I'm reminding you tomorrow night.
Yes. Have you talked to Leona recently?
No, not recently. Why?
Oh, well, I was just wondering because,
I mean,
all these new gigs coming up.
not since when she set the gig up, but she only calls us when there's a change or,
True.
something new's lined up.
True. Okay. Was that everything?
Yeah, I just you told me to remind you. I'm just,
Yep.
plus it's good to hear your voice, know your voice. Oh, wow. Never mind. That sounds corny as fuck.
Okay.
I just thinking of you, keep checking in, making sure you're okay.
I appreciate it.
And then it goes. And as we're ending this episode, Alice, this night, when you get home to your apartment, there is tucked under your door a manila envelope full of police files that you had requested your friend to pull on recent disappearances. As you lay down this night, you don't sleep well. You're racked by the nightmares. Clark as well. Carsador. Nightmares of corrupted brethren. Everyone hears, you've saved one woman, but the one behind it is still at large. And now you must find a way to track them down. And this is where we're going to end Season 1, Episode 6 of Demon the Fallen, Demon the Road to Hell. And I'd like to thank right off my players for this amazing session. And you, the viewers, for being here to watch it. Now, as we like to do at the end of these, of course, everyone starts off. You get 2 experience. One for roleplay, because everyone roleplayed well, and one for being here. Now we have to ask the round of player, what did you learn? So we're going to start this week with Mars. Mars, what did you learn?
Potentially that making somebody flee when they shouldn't probably isn't a good idea.
For your reference, he failed that roll.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
You
Either
did not get
way.
many successes, but you still beat him.
Okay.
So he fled because you forced him to flee, though it was only to safety of a few feet under the stone. Kathleen, what did you learn?
That the humans we interact with are broken, but we are ourselves broken as well. Not just because of what broke us to bring us to this point, but our past. So she isn't as in touch with her past as some of the others, but she feels bad for Synthraziel and what she was going through. So, and she would have offered to Clark, but she was not there when Clark, said, don't let me turn into that. So, yeah.
It's funny how that's something as a mortal you knew, your human body knew, turns out to actually apply. It seems these fallen angels also need a bit of therapy and a bit of help because they're dealing with their own traumas that carry over for a long time. Alice, what did you learn?
I learned that there are, that our powers were used in battle for a reason, that there are negative consequences amongst other fallen when you use them, whether it's intentional or not. But they do have the capability, as we know when they were used in war.
Mm-hmm. That is very true as well. Clark, what did you learn?
3 things. 1, Carsador is scared of all of this. He just saw a potential for himself that he does not like. 2, he needs to warn every other malefactor he meets of the exact same thing. And 3, he knows that one of his creations that he spent, well, time wasn't quite the same back then, but he spent countless hours creating, and he had to have someone destroy it.
That's a
And
tough
he's not happy with
choice.
that either.
That is a tough choice for a malefactor to decide. To
And I
undo.
guess on a side note,
Yep.
now he definitely wants to get in contact with the one Arazeth knows.
I don't blame you. Might be useful. And speaking of Arazeth, what did you learn?
That Arazeth is willing to die trying to destroy these people harming her children.
That's actually a very Arazeth thing to learn, isn't it? And finally, Synthraziel, what did you learn from all this?
Well, one, she learned that her trauma for things she barely remembers goes far, far deeper and more debilitating than she could have thought. And she's learned that our enemy, at least one of them, is a malefactor and a powerful one. And that scares her because she's seen how powerful Carsador is. And this guy might be even stronger. So that's pretty unsettling.
And it would make you wonder what could control that malefactor well enough. What must it take to control one like that?
Exactly. He wasn't the source of the taint.
No, he wasn't. So everyone learned something. Now that means everyone's up to 3 XP. Now we're going for the player vote. Drulario, who do you vote for the player vote?
I'm not gonna lie, I have like for Syntherziel as Arazeth and Cursador. Your role playing tonight was just like on it. Synthezriel with the like fear that you had, you played that out so like very convincingly. Arazeth with the just like focus and have to get that done, like just head straight.
Her cold rage. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And her store, the fear being a seemingly it seems, I don't know if this is actually how you were playing it, but it seemed to me as though you were playing it as like it's kind of like an unknown emotion that you're kind of working your way through, and you know, almost like because it's so unknown, you are afraid of this fear in a way. Anyway, yeah, but
Malefactors are disconnected from human emotion. It does not mean they are absent from them.
It's funny because fear is one thing prior to having a human body you never actually felt. It was not an emotion given to you by the creator. Even during the war, you never feared even being uncreated. So you voted for Synthraziel, Arazeth, and Carsador. Trimdeziel, your vote.
I, like everybody, gets it. This is one of those episodes where while we stayed kind of inside the rails, as it were, of like one single thing, we weren't going through 5 different locations and stuff. Everyone brought something to what we were doing. I know Druliriel's like, well, I shouldn't have scared the malefactor off, but honestly, if the malefactor hadn't fled, we would have been standing there beating on it for ages. And yes, it's 6v1, quote unquote, but it could have easily outpowered us, just based on what Karstor told us. The boss made an attempt, and it was glorious because it set up roleplay, but also the fact that like using the powers that the boss character has in different ways every single time, like running up and being like, hey, flashlight, that I was like, what is she? And then Synthraziel, of course, because you always have such great emotional role play elements, and it makes your character feel very real. Arazeth, because yes, Arazeth is obviously like the group's mom per se, but she cares about the others more than us, which is perfectly fine and understandable. But you're so consistent in the drive, because it's just like, if there is one person suffering and I know that person is suffering, I am going to punch God in the fucking junk if it means getting it done. So and Karsador, he is also one track minded in a sense, but he is, this is gonna sound really dumb, but Karsador is like the compass of the group, in that he is constantly pointing us where we need to go and kind of how to get there, which is useful, and it probably is quote unquote overpowered, but it's also allowing us to progress the story without this being a game of like, we spend 80 minutes in traffic, who talked to who to talk to who kind of thing. So, but it's also relevant because it makes sense from the fact that like demons are fucking powerful. We should be able to bypass some of the mundane bullshit, and having Karstor just be like, grab my hand, here we go, and we go down the fucking rabbit hole, and we all obviously trust him because we fucking follow him every time. So yeah,
Demon is a game where the power curve is a power cliff for sure, because it's not meant to be balanced in a lot of ways. That's the beauty of the game. You could focus on the game rather than the little bits. And for you, I want to comment on what you just said there about Nabas. Nabas had never gone up against these type of cultists. You didn't know your power wouldn't work. The only way to find that out is to try. And had Druliriel not scared off this particular malefactor, it would have gotten very ugly very quick. Because what he used the first time with the earth throwing the stones at everybody, that was pretty weak because of distance. You were at point blank range, and it would have been lethal damage to everybody hit.
Not to mention, even if we survived that, he still had an entire room to work with.
Yeah. Of stone.
Yep. At any point, he could have brought the whole ceiling down on everybody. Fighting a malefactor in a chamber of stone is a very bad idea. So, Nabas, your vote.
So I think I also have to go with everyone. Although we were all this episode, we were all very much on the same path, which could lead to like not a lot of role playing opportunities. However, everyone took advantage of opportunities that were presented to them to really show off what their characters would be interested in, what they would do. So, Dazriel with the flashback, which is phenomenal. I was tearing up too. Then you have Arazeth when she went out of her way to go back and take an amulet and go back and try and find the stone dude, and then B, when she just like slowly walks around the room and breaks everyone's neck. Like that's a very Arazeth thing to do. We were all there, but she took the initiative. Karsador with the knife and how he took that step, and then surprisingly enough, he did care about getting the hostage out of the situation, and he took initiative to do that. Then Tremdeziel with the call at the end and making sure that the people who were witness to earlier events were okay. And then Druliriel with the scenes that Morgan just talked about, with the trying to take a unique step to how to handle the other demon that we encountered. Plus, I just think that the way that she handled the conversations with like her thrall, Neptune was just good. And to like taking those extra steps outside of what we're all doing together to really show off what the characters do and what they're like and what their priorities are. I thought that was good.
As a fallen, if you are not of a house that is made for combat, because many of the houses are not, you have to get very creative in how you avoid getting your ass handed to you by the houses that are made for combat. Making him flee, though it allowed him to survive, is a valid tactic because you can always fight another day. You have more than enough time to get him, preferably in a place where he is not at having an advantage. And as Carsador could probably tell you, malefactors are notoriously hard to kill just because if they have any power with Earth, they can always meld into the Earth below them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that whole thing of try killing a mountain. You can do it, but God, is it worth it?
So, Clark, your vote.
Hi, everyone. I am exhausted both in character and out, so I'll make this nice and quick. I vote for everyone. Drillerial, we got to see the Grim Reaper. That's fucking awesome.
Fucking badass.
Tremdeziel, you make sure that all of our messes are cleaned up afterwards, and that is not something that a lot of RPG protagonists, players do, and so props on actually being able to clean the fuck up, because I can't do that. Boss, thank you so much for being at least one person to go with me, because I was like, if I have to defend this girl on my own, I'm fucked. So thank you for just relieving him of that, and also recognizing that he was too out of it to be making the tactical decisions once the path fucked up, because that also threw him off, because he doesn't like it when shit goes wrong. And Erazeth, I mean, fuck, you had the sledgehammer. And Synthraziel, yeah, your panic was understandable, given the first house guilt that you probably feel. But at the same time, I mean, shit, you recovered from it surprisingly fast for someone who's been carrying around trauma since he got locked away in a prison of nothing.
Okay. That's another vote for everyone. Erazeth, your turn.
It's everyone. It's legit everyone. I mean, Synthraziel, I gotta say, in these combat situations, she is the least first house I've ever seen. But I understand it now because of her trauma. It makes total sense why she is not stepping forward to be the general now. And it came out tonight. Literally, Carsador. I mean, for one that is not as in touch with humanity, he was on a one-track mission to get the girl. That shows a bit more humanity than he wants to admit.
He'll say it's pragmatism.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That just gave him brownie points in Erazeth's eyes, I'm just saying. And, you know, and then we've got Nibos. Fucking brilliant use of your freaking powers tonight. Oh my God. Light in the fucking dude's eyes. I was like, yes, yes. And then literally, even though it didn't work, we didn't know it wouldn't work. That trying with the phantasm, that was brilliant too. And it did lead to great role play with Synthraziel because, you know, Evie Eternal here always brings the fucking feels and the sucker punches, okay? So,
also,
yeah.
Also, just good pick on what you decided to
Yeah.
phantasm. It's like, what could scare humans? Oh!
Murdering humans out of hand. By monsters.
I had to be careful with my description. I didn't want to violate the Twitch terms of service because it was pretty horrible.
Brilliant.
Event.
But yeah, and Tremdeziel, legit. If Erazeth is the mom, Tremdeziel is the aunt. Okay? She's the aunt that takes care of everybody when the mom is flipping out. Okay? As
She'll bring Werthers for everyone.
she'll bring Werthers. Yes, I love Werthers.
Auntie Tremdeziel has the best gifts every time. Every
Yes.
event.
No, but she has so much empathy for not only people, but for her fellow choir of fallen angels. It's brilliant to see it played out by Ivy Raven. Truly brilliant. And then, of course, last but most certainly not least, Drew Lariel. I mean, we saw the fucking Grim Repress, okay? Fucking amazing. And she sent that big motherfucking rockhead running.
Even stone erodes.
Yeah, it was like, that was just chef's kiss. And yeah, Arazeth, Relin really doesn't want to see Arazeth go down, you know, quickly. But Arazeth was of a mindset that fuck this shit, she's going to kill him. And the fact that some of y'all decided to follow her, knowing it probably would be her demise if he was there, that meant a lot. That meant a lot because she, before finding y'all, she really felt alone. Really felt alone. So, everyone.
Clearly, the Duke that we work for picked a good little squadron.
Yeah. I think he picked it less on what he thought you could do, but more on he thought he could control you. Turns out he was wrong. Finally, Synthrazio, your player vote.
Oh God. Yeah, I have to give it to everyone. This was a really good and involved episode, and I think that reflects it. It's really hard to pick one. For Arazeth, in Arazeth's case, the raw power that she displays without hesitation in order to defend her children is. I'm always like, she's gonna turn this into fucking D&D. She's gonna smash some shit up. Let's go. I'm just waiting for it. I'm like, yep, there it is. Yeah, let's go.
And the player says she'd never want to do D&D. That's the sort of shit you do in D&D.
I don't want to do D&D, but I do want to fuck shit up as a demon. Carsador, I really, really liked your roleplay today. It was like, there were several moments where it felt really, really like tense and really dark. And I think that really helped. I love your apocalyptic form too. I love the description of it and the way that you moved and acted out the specifics of the form, which I thought was just wonderful.
I love that. I honestly kind of visualized that when he spoke, it sounded like rocks grinding on each other.
I will admit, it's harder to roleplay like physically unstable than I would have suspected. So thank you for thinking it was good.
Yeah,
that was really hard to do.
Good.
So I will give everybody the XP on this one. So that means everybody gains 4 XP this episode. And
I was going to compliment people more.
Well, yeah, but we got it. I think everyone, this was an amazing episode. Yes. I love the creativity each one played when what you were doing was very much on rails in some way, because the moment you went down in that tunnel, you either were going to get to the end or you weren't. And if you weren't, you were going to be trapped in there a very long damn time. So you understand. But as you see now, there are events going on that you all have never dealt with before. And it's going to come to a head. But the beauty is now you all get a few days of your characters to recharge your batteries for your characters. Run down your own private goals. And I thank you all for being my players in this game. Now let's go into the last of our parts of our outro here. Of course, if you'd like to talk about this game, join us on our Discord. So you know we cast our shows. Every show on the channel, we've cast from members of our Discord. We post up casting calls and people answer like this. Sometimes they have auditions. Some games they don't have auditions. It all depends on who's running the game and their own policy. And I mentioned the casting calls thing because, yes, there will be a one-shot after Season 1, but before Season 2, where you get to see the other side of this story, the Earthbound and their servants, and what they were doing while this choir of demons was ruining their plans. So that'll be an interesting one. Of course, we also do weekly Zoom hangouts where we just sit and chat, talk about whatever people want to talk about. Some nights are vent fests to get to deal with the stress of what's going on in the world. Other nights, it's random shit that comes up. But whatever it is, we do them once a week or try to. And I'd like to say we do non-streamed community games, but it's been a while. Jesus Christ, our schedule's too rough to do that. So that's what it is. If you want to catch our back episodes of this, We've got back episodes of almost every single World of Darkness product out there right now. The only thing we don't have is Orpheus, Promethean, and Mummy. I think we have all the others back episodes, and Hunters that I don't count that. You know, if you want to pop over and catch Call of Cthulhu or D&D, that's on Ishvel's channel. Everything else is on the McStabber Studios Discord or YouTube. You can find a game you like on our YouTube, trust me. If you don't like World of Darkness, shame on you. No, if you don't like World of Darkness, hey, you like what you like. There's Bluebeard's Bride, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, where you'll see actually
Monster Hearts 2.
Yep, Monster Hearts 2. You'll see people you recognize from this stream right here in the Thirsty Sword Lesbian stream, which was awesome. And there's a number, just check it out. There's all kinds of other games. You want to catch some amazing content creators like Mischievous Red over there, Nabas the Fiend, and Kathleen Stone, Trimdeziel the Defiler. That's the Ivy Raven. You can pop over to their Twitch and check out their what they do. It's a good place to ask them about their character or some of their motivations or how they feel about their games, because, you know, most role players love talking about it. Not going to lie, that's just the way it is. You want to get some studio merch? We have studio merch. We don't have anything for Demon yet, but we will. We're going to need an Arazeth, the Avenging Angel.
I legit just haven't had time to create any freaking graphics.
We've got to figure out something for Arazeth, the Avenging Angel, because Jesus Christ, she's like a fucking Mack truck of determination, going to go fucking murder everyone who hurt our children, which happens to be apparently the human race.
No, it's the demon race.
Oh, that too.
Mom says it's my turn with creation.
Yeah. So, trying to make sure. I think I covered. Yep, I've covered my part. Now, Mama McStabber there, Verlin,
All
I'll give you the
right.
schedule, because we have a busy ass schedule.
Yes. So, God. Okay, so coming up over this week. First, thank you all for joining us for this episode. It was crazy, but I knew we were getting into some crazy shit. We have on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern is Dune, the second session of Dune, Blood-Soaked Sands, with Shanky and myself as players at Ravnos Archon's table with Junie Von Esch and Alex Skylark. Yo, it is crazy. We've already had like 10 murders already. It's nuts.
That's Arrakis.
Some of them, only one happened on the planet. All the rest were in the spaceships above it.
Spaceport above it.
We didn't even make it to the land on the planet yet before
Or like a bunch of people
getting
were
murdered.
dead. And then on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have London Esoteric Society with Tiss, our amazing British GM. It is Call of Cthulhu 7E. You want to tune in for that. The investigators are doing some sauce stuff, and legit Mortuous, who plays Franco, likes to blow all his luck. Tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday for that. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Windy City After Dark Season 7, Episode 5. We are at the mid-season of Windy City already. I have no idea what we are going to be doing, but I know we're going to have a guest during that session because we are recording that on Thursday night. So come join us on Sunday for vampire content. Amazing, set in Chicago, modern day. And then, of course, on Monday, the 11th, is the start of a new series run by Ravnos Archon, because he is a masochist and he likes to run multiple games all the time. He's running Kids on Bikes starting on Monday, the 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be a 3-session mini-series that shows basically kids as they age in a very spooky town. So you want to check that out. And then on the 12th, we'll be back here. That's next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with episode 7 of Demon, The Road to Hell.
We are getting close to the end, everybody. And as we always do on this channel, at least when Lynn or I are running the streams, mental health, everybody, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please check in on those around you. Please make sure they're okay, because a lot of people are not okay. And a lot of people right now are on the edge, and they just need a kind voice, a helping hand, someone to show they care, to make sure that they step off that edge. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, myself included, first of all, it's okay to not be okay. There is nothing wrong with admitting you need help to deal with life in general. And please, part of that help is to reach out to those around you if you need this help. And if you don't feel you can reach out to those around you, in chat, list the numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And those people on the other end of those numbers there will talk to you and will be that lifeline. Because mental health is health, everybody, and it's very important. And while it's okay to not be okay, the goal is to try to make you as okay as you can get. It's an ongoing thing with mental health. It's something most people deal with their whole life. Sometimes just a little help, something to ease it a little bit makes a big difference in your life. So please take your mental health seriously. And I'm going to turn it over to my wife so she can give her part of the outro.
I'm a McStabber. I'm a registered nurse, but I'm going to latch on to that mental health thing because mental health is a part of all your physical health. It really is. You can't have the body without the brain. They kind of work in conjunction. Literally, don't buy into the bullshit that that went on for so long about mental health. Take it seriously. But also, if you are employed and receive benefits and your company has an employee assistance program, you can utilize that for free. You actually can get free counseling sessions. You can get resources to counselors in your area if you need them. And it's always confidential. It is always confidential. Your boss doesn't hear about it. Your company doesn't hear about it. Actually, all they get is a utilization report. They don't even get who uses it, just how many employees are using it. That's it. That's it. So use your employee assistance program if you have it available. It's a benefit to you. Take advantage of it. And honestly, I know I've been saying get your shots and stuff. At this point, I know I'm preaching just to the freaking choir because most of our people that watch our streams are vaccinated, or if they're not, they keep their damn mouth shut. Because I'm going to be real, if you're not vaccinated and can be, you're a fucking idiot. And then on top of that, I just want to say that the overturn of Roe and Casey and the Dobbs decision has basically legalized murder of folks with uteruses in many states, and it will be more. That's what it did. So, literally, men are telling people with uteruses at protests that they'll rape them. That's going on. And children are being denied abortions in their states when they've been raped by relatives. Children who will die giving birth, because when you're 10, your body isn't designed for giving birth. It isn't about unborn children. Unborn children are very convenient because they really don't demand anything of anyone except for the mother. They're real convenient as a moral platform. Ultimately, what this is doing is criminalizing so that people who are pregnant or the people that may provide abortions are made criminals and have felonies on their record so that they can't vote, so it's voter suppression, and people will die. So they're completely legitimizing that death and murder. Please vote blue. And honestly, go to the fucking United Nations website and report us for human rights violations. Because we could use some sanctions right about now to hit the rich people where it hurts. Said with love and a whole shit ton of rage.
And fuck Putin. I'm not done saying fuck Putin. I'm not going to stop saying fuck Putin until he's out of Ukraine. Fuck Putin. Don't take it out on the Russian businesses or the Russian members of the community, but fuck Putin. So I do thank you all for coming, and I hope you've been enjoying our little Demon the Fallen story. This Choir of Demons is definitely going to take a few days off to recoup after the events of this, because I think they're stretched thin from these current things. So I do thank you all for coming, and I hope to see you in our later streams. Good night, everybody.